Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe for tips on writing, teaching and leadership, so hit that subscribe button down below. Today I'm going to be focusing on the 7 habits of effective leadership according to Steven Covey. Remember that any books that I cite are linked in the description below, so make sure that if you're interested in getting more detail, you can follow that link. So I'm going to focus today on the first 3 habits of effective leadership. They fall under the category of managing yourself. So the first habit of effective leadership, according to Steven Covey, is to be proactive. What does that mean? Being proactive means that you think about situations and problems that you might face ahead of time. Rather than leaving it to the last minute, you plan ahead for those situations and you put in steps so that you can address them when they come up. So an example in a business or in a school, I come from a school background, is in this crazy time, you might have some steps in place, or you would definitely have some steps in place to know what to do in the case that somebody turns up at the door unexpectedly. So how are you going to manage their entry into the building? That's important in any situation, but particularly at this time. So having policies in place, having a system in place to address those sorts of situations indicates that you're being proactive, as does having things like risk assessments. So being proactive is habit number 1 of effective leadership, and it is the habit of choice, because you're making a choice to take an action, and that shows to your team that you can be trusted because you know what you're doing. Habit number 2 of effective leadership comes into the habit of vision, and that means that you know where you want to get to. And Steven Covey talks about this in terms of beginning with the end in mind. So beginning with the end in mind means that you have an end goal and you know where you want to get to and how you're going to get to it, so you can put clear steps in place. So in the case of businesses and in the case of schools, having clear action plans will help you to get to your end goal. The only way you're going to get a clear action plan is if you have a clear vision of where you want to get to. So the habit of vision is habit number 2. It will help you to put in place strategic objectives, strategic plans, and operational plans that you can get to your end goal. Now, I've already previously given examples in my social media of Aesop's Fables, where you have the ant and the grasshopper and the hare and the tortoise, both of whom were proactive and planned ahead. And as a result, they survived or they won the race. So being proactive and beginning with the end in mind are the first 2 habits of effective leadership according to Steven Covey. The last habit that I'm going to talk about today, which falls under managing yourself, is the habit of integrity and execution. And this is putting first things first according to Steven Covey. In other words, you identify the things that are important, not just the things that are urgent, and you make sure that you prioritize and you address those items first. So having things like time management matrices helps you as a leader to manage your time effectively and to address things in the most important way. So examples of time management matrices are those that are divided into quadrants where you have important, not important, urgent and not urgent. And therefore you're able to prioritize. Other ways that you can prioritize actions is to have numerical lists with the most important items at the top and the least important at the bottom. So putting first things first is habit number 3 of effective leadership according to Steven Covey. So before we finish today, I just thought I would summarize the 3 habits of effective leaders that we have covered. So we have covered the habits that fall under the category of managing yourself. The first habit was to be proactive. The second habit was to begin with the end in mind. And the third habit was to put first things first. These are the 3 habits of effective leadership according to Steven Covey, the first 3. And they cover the habits of choice, the habit of vision, and the habit of integrity and execution. And they all come under the category of managing yourself. Now, examples of ways that you can show that you're proactive and that you're putting first things first and that you're beginning with the end in mind would be to have very clear action plans. And for example, to have a calendar with itemized actions on there and a daily planner with your meetings and the actions that you're going to carry out indicated on there. That would show that you are an effective leader. and that you know what you're doing and what steps you have to take in order to achieve your end goal. So once you have your vision in place and you've got an action plan in place, you then need to break it down into your monthly and daily steps to achieve those end goals. What we're going to do next time is we're going to cover the next 3 habits of effective leadership according to Steven Covey. They fall under the category of leading others. So tune in next time for those 3 habits, and for more tips on writing and leadership and teaching, make sure that you subscribe. I look forward to seeing you then.